All right, guys. Bose has a couple of buds out there already, but then they just dropped the Gen 2 version of the Ultra.
And I dropped it, yeah.
Like that. Surprise. And then so we ordered it, we got them in, we tested the hell out of it, and we're here to...
You're confused.
Yeah. To see why they did this. It makes no sense.
Namaste, we're DHRME. Don't hear ringtones. Music exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's just as confusing as the lineup because, to be honest, we have no idea what's happening here.
No.
Bit of a history lesson.
Yeah, bit of a history lesson. So the Ultras first came out, and when they came out, we were extremely disappointed. Extremely. Check out this thumbnail. But then they went ahead and improved a bunch of things. They improved the connectivity. They improved... and then there's the price difference. So these guys are priced steep, $300, right? These guys $300 too. Not sure how much this will reduce in price.
Yeah.
And then these guys came in at $180 earlier this year. And they really impressed me.
The QuietComfort buds.
The QuietComfort buds. Yeah. Actually, I felt like these were so much better.
I feel like they are two different companies.
Yes. I think we said this in our video, didn't we?
Yeah, but it just feels like that.
We did.
The app is different.
Yes.
The features you have on there are different.
Yep.
It's just like, if you told me this was from company XYZ,
right.
I'd be like, yeah, of course.
If you rebranded it, it would totally make sense. You're right. Yeah. Okay, but what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about what is the Gen 2 compared to the Gen 1 in terms of the Ultra, and then we'll see what the QuietComfort is and how this plays into the whole lineup.
So we're going from cheapest to most expensive.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this? Shall we first compare the Gen 1 and the Gen 2?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is the newest product, the Gen 2. Basically, Bose is claiming three things on this. Noise cancelling abilities updated, voice call quality, and wireless charging. At least one of those three
yes, that
is definitely true. There is wireless charging.
Yeah.
And that was also like kind of, we could not get what the deal was with wireless charging on the Ultra. But anyway, now we have wireless charging.
Okay.
And the funny thing though is...
Yeah, has wireless charging. It makes no sense. So these guys came in with wireless charging and they were supposed to be the mid-range, right, at $180.
Yeah.
So no excuse there. Woohoo, they added it on Gen 2. But let's talk about the other two claims that they've made, right? So they've talked about noise cancelling abilities. Went ahead and tested them. Now, right off, all three that you see on the table for both noise cancelling and transparency is Tier S. Let me pause there.
Yeah. Yeah, we took a bit of a pause to have some water.
Yeah.
This is merch. All merch you buy from us for 2025, all proceeds go to a good cause. So
try and do some good here on the channel.
For a change.
Back to the video. Where was I? Right. All Tier S. But there's a bit of nuance there. Bose level noise cancelling, you can't really beat the Ultra. And the same goes for Gen 2. These were still Tier S, but they let in a little bit more of the low ends and the voices and those sorts of things. Still Tier S though. So there's that. Now, they did claim that Gen 2 was better in noise cancelling. I disagree. There you go. They did not. Yeah, you can't drop that one. Sorry. And I'll tell you why. So what I've noticed in testing this is that the Ultra was better at suppressing the voices. So the voices came in a tiny bit more in the noise cancelling mode, in quiet mode, than these guys did.
Yeah, both are great, right?
Both are amazing.
So even if you say, okay, there's a margin of error there.
Right.
You're basically getting the same.
You're 100%. Yes.
Right.
No one's comparing these. Like, no. When you buy any of these products, especially the Ultras, you're getting top-notch noise cancelling. And the transparency, these guys actually were Tier B, then bumped up to Tier S with a firmware update. Yeah, I mean, they're able to improve stuff. We've seen this with the Ultra open ear buds as well.
Yeah.
They do that. They release shitty buds initially, and then all the initial impressions and the reviews are bad. Sorry, Bose, but that's what it is. And then you go ahead and update it.
It's like they're like the anti-marketing company. Like, let's release really bad products, get very bad marketing, and then we'll fix it.
It really feels like they're an engineering company, right?
Yeah, it does. To be honest, there's something honest about
it
that
as
well. Yeah.
So I'll give you that, but they went ahead and improved that. Good job. But then noise cancelling abilities on par, right? A little bit worse maybe, but you can't go wrong? Okay.
I was excited about the second one, the third one rather, the voice call quality.
Yeah.
I was really excited thinking, hey,
Me too.
Bose gonna fix this.
Meh.
Listen to the samples
Yeah.
for yourself. All right, the Bose QuietComfort Ultra Gen 2 in quiet conditions. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, my first test on the Bose QuietComfort Ultra Gen 2. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. It's like a quietish outdoor day. Your voice okay? All right, Bose QC Ultra 2 in noisy conditions. Let's go. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Ice, icicle, test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. That was the Bose QuietComfort Ultra Gen 2 in breezy conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you summarize the voice call quality on actually all of these buds. The worst probably is the QuietComfort over here. These are not considerable, not a huge difference, not much better or anything like that. So
yeah, there's so like Apple is like upped its game, even Sony has upped its game to like, some extent. Huawei is like the leading, but Bose
is still struggling. Yeah,
I don't know what's happening.
They'll get their point. They'll get their time.
I think in 6 months you'll have good call quality
with a firmware
update. Yeah, so that's how it is.
So that's that. So the 3 claims we've tested.
Yeah, and other than that, guys, these two are the same.
Yeah.
Right? The build is the same, the fit is the same, the touch is the same.
And because we got the same color, we were actually very scared we would mix them up.
Yeah.
So how did you find out which one was which?
So you told me one thing on the buds, which is the mesh pattern on the inside of the ear tips is different. Yeah. For the Gen 2, you have those dots.
Yeah.
And the logo is bigger on the Gen 2.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Woohoo. So now we know how to differentiate them. But both of them, Snapdragon sound, both of them immersive mode, both of them touch control. Everything is pretty much identical.
Yeah. Yeah. Type-C charging. There is wireless charging on Gen 2, like we said.
Yes.
And the new feature, which is like slapped on the back of the box.
Spotify tap.
Yeah. So you have this shortcut mode, which is a long press on either your left or your right, and you can configure that in both of these. And there's one more option added for the Gen 2, which is Spotify tap. So it just takes you into Spotify and plays the last song that you were playing.
Yeah, basically got paid by Spotify to do something. Yeah, that's
exactly.
And battery life, one thing Bose didn't advertise was improved battery life. In our testing, these guys came up around 7 hours.
Yeah.
Even the advertise is 6. So now what's happening there?
And here we got 5.5, so a little less than advertised. So
the upgrades aren't
the marketing again. Marketing the wrong things. But
at least their planes won't crash, They're an engineering company.
Okay. Coming back to the lineup.
Yeah. So, Kevin, which one would you buy? Let's keep it simple.
Right here. Yeah, for sure. It just feels like a more well-refined product with much more features and customizability. Let me explain. First of all, the app is different. And in that app, you're getting touch control customizability. The only thing you can do on the Ultras is turn off and on touch controls. That is it. They tell you what the touch controls are. You can't change anything. You can only change that shortcut.
Long tap.
The long tap. Yeah, and what that does. Here you got single tap, double tap, triple tap, hold, all of them changeable. And you're getting better feedback on those touch controls because every time you tap it, there's this little beep. So you really know if you've hit it or not. Here you get none of that.
And one thing I must say is like we haven't talked about sound because these two are kind of identical for me. Both have Snapdragon sound.
Yeah.
This one is a bit warmer sounding than these and not as high res sounding as these. It doesn't have immersive audio, but it has a 5-band equalizer, the cheaper one. And I think the equalizer is probably the most important thing next to the stock tuning for sound. So I think these sound better, but sometimes they sound a bit sharp to me and they have a 3-band EQ and I can't change that. Whereas these have a 5-band EQ. Again, 5-band is not great, but 5 is greater than 3.
Yeah.
Indian man. So yes, these sound better. Ultra. These do not sound too bad. They have probably slightly worse highs. These are wireless products. So
yeah, no, and that's kind of, you see where I'm coming from. I don't mind the sound quality as much. And so I'm more attracted to the other features here that make the purchase decision for me. Because just on controls, right? The customizability was one part. There's also the fact that you get mute control for phone calls. You do not get them on that, right? You get voice controls. Okay, maybe you might want to argue whether you're going to use that. It's a proprietary voice control to change volume, change track, ANC modes, all of that. But you get it, right? So it's much more feature packed in that sense. There's also a low latency game mode for it, which these do not have, right? I mean, these should be called the Ultra in terms of the feature set.
Yeah, for sure.
So okay, these are multi-point, these are multi-point. They have a device list. This does not. Okay? But those are kind of the main differences, guys, that you need to know about for this lineup.
Yeah, overall, these have that ear canal scanning tech. I'm not sure if these guys have that. But yeah, it's... So my confusion is this. Why do these exist? That's my confusion.
Yeah.
So it could be that Bose is trying to phase this out.
Yeah.
Which would make sense then to have this. They just basically added wireless charging in that case. In that case, yeah, Bose, do your thing. But if both of these are around
and exist together,
that does not make sense.
Makes no sense.
And these, it's just like a different company, like we said. So overall, I think you said your pick would be the...
Yeah, I'm not liking the chunky case, but besides that, I'm loving the touch controls. I'm loving, the customizability I'm getting, and I'm loving the price point.
Yeah.
Especially now with Prime Day deals going on. I mean,
yeah, we saw that. There was a good deal on these. Correct. 150 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, or 130, 120, something like that. It was very,
Check out that video.
Yeah.
You don't memorize all.
But anyway, they get discounted, and then it's a nice deal. But $300 for this, yes, 100% for the noise canceling. It's unmatched. The engineering that goes into Bose products is incredible for noise canceling.
Yeah.
But apart from that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our take on the Gen 2. It's a very, very minor upgrade.
Yeah.
At least till now. Till they release that firmware update, which is gonna fix. Again, guys, we're just joking around. Yeah. Don't ever buy products based on the promise of something being improved.
Absolutely.
Historically, we have seen that Bose does do that, so it's something to keep in mind.
Yep.
But as they stand right now, if the price is the same, obviously I'd choose the Gen 2, but otherwise there's not much of a difference between these two.
What would you pick in the lineup?
The Ultra.
The Ultra.
The Ultra.
Why? Sound?
I think they fit me better.
Okay.
Sound, it's just it feels like a very polished product now.
Okay.
Since compared to when it was released. And yeah, if the Gen 2 is the same price, then I'd take the Gen 2, of course.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay. All right. There you have it. What do you guys think about, what do you make out of all this and then this whole lineup and this drop of this Gen 2 product? There we go. Again, thanks guys for watching this video. And thanks a bunch to this tested tier patrons and YouTube members.
And our big dogs, the Fuckmon tier, Paula, Rachel, Rats Panda, and Jay. Thank you so much. You've been dropping the next generation.
And we've been DHRME.
Do we?
Do we?